Hola, mi gente, ¿cómo están? Somos...
Hey, ¿qué onda, carnal? Nosotros somos...
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's everyone's favorite anime and manga podcast, lOsTAKUS. My name is Eric.
And I'm JT.
And today we're going to go ahead and start off with some news from the giant 2 days that just happened at Shonen Jump Festa. A lot of stuff was announced. A lot of stuff was released. And yeah, let's get into it.
So I guess we start off with the big one. Bleach.
Yeah.
So we got a trailer. Not really a trailer, more like just a preview of how the animation is going to look. And it's a big upgrade.
Oh, it's a big upgrade for sure.
Big upgrade. Something that Black Clover didn't get. The treatment that Black Clover didn't get.
So for those who have watched Black Clover, it's done by Studio Period. And it's the same studio done by Bleach. And if you look at the new trailer and then you go back and look at like a couple episodes of Black Clover and you're just like, is that the same animation studio? Yes, it is.
Is it the same animation?
No, it's not. And that's mainly because money and where the studio and production companies decided to focus their money and time and energy was on Bleach.
Yeah, because it works.
They knew it was gonna...
A former big three, of course.
Yeah.
And all the money it's made for them throughout the years, even while it already finished.
And sadly, they had to
axe Black Clover
for the time being and not finish it. Sorry, Bad Boy.
Black Clover is just a backup.
It is what it is. The money talks, and the money talked, and Bleach is back. The people who have watched Bleach and, like back in the day, like on YouTube, or however you sailed the high seas or whatever, you're just gonna be like, wow, like this is what the technology and manpower is capable of now. It's a stunning difference. It's pretty crazy. It was trending on Twitter. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody's talking about Facebook.
It looks good.
It looks good.
It doesn't change the fact that the story sucks.
Yeah. You could give it all the nostalgia points that you want. The way that Kubo decided to take the story was...
Not only the stories, the characters. My biggest problem with the new arc is just... Never mind. We'll get into it when the start...
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll make a video on that when the season starts.
When the time comes.
Yeah, when the time comes.
It did drop a date for its release date. October 2022.
So next year in October is when the anime will start. So keep a lookout for that for all you Bleach fans, or if people that are just now getting to Bleach because you watched that, then yeah, go be excited for it.
Check it out.
I'm pretty excited. The next thing,
My Hero
season 6 trailer was dropped, and it was...
I love it. It was almost like a Avengers Infinity War type of thing. All the heroes and heroes that you haven't seen in a while. All the teachers are basically boom, 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 stack them up.
You're getting them versus all the villains, the Liberation Army, all that good stuff.
And the League of Villains, all of them. That's it. That's all it is. So there's going to be a big war arc.
Yeah, it's going to be a giant war.
Biggest battle. I think so far it's the biggest battle, right?
By far the biggest battle in
So it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. It was a very short trailer, but it was still worth all the hype for it because, yeah, it's good. It's going to be a good one.
And not everybody's going to make it.
It's a war. It happens.
I like it a lot. It's happening a lot more lately in Shonen stories. But we weren't so used to it before that you have characters get killed off.
Yeah, so they're taking some big chances, some big leaps in their stories, and it's working out for them. It's working out pretty well for them.
So it didn't get a release date, but it did get a time period, which is fall of 2022. Mm-hmm. So fall of 2022 is looking pretty big, bro.
We're gonna be eating, bro. Like we eating
being
good.
Spoiled in the fall.
Then for Dragon Ball fans, the new trailer for the superhero movie dropped.
That's what it's called. Dragon Ball Superhero.
Superhero. Oh my god, what a... anyways, it looks dumb. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now. Y'all can hate on me.
Whenever it involves the Red Ribbon Army, I'm like, a Dragon Ball villains, right? From back then, and
yeah.
Sure, they had a great arc with the Android saga, but that's basically what it looks like it's gonna be.
The two.
Yeah, it's another Android.
I was like, oh my god.
The only good thing that came off of the trailer was that we saw a glimpse of Pan. But now Pan is canon.
Canon confirmed. Let's go. She's in the story.
Little chibi Pan.
Yeah.
Great.
And then they just try to hype up Gohan. I feel like Gohan's going to be like the main focus in this story, but I'm like, why, bro?
Is he going to try to be a superhero for his daughter, maybe?
Maybe. But still, please don't hurt my boy anymore that y'all have already. Moving on from there, one of the mangas that I started reading this year and that I finished recently, Hell's Paradise Jigokuraku, also got its trailer and it looks amazing.
Had they already revealed what studio was animating it, or was it revealed in this one?
It was revealed in this one.
Oh, okay.
It was Mappa. Mappa's doing it. We've talked about this before, and as much as people love anime, you still got to remember there are human beings working on this stuff.
Not robots. It's not AI.
Beings, right?
It's actual living organisms.
And Studio Mappa is taking on this project. It's cool. We love Studio Mappa, Jujutsu Kaisen, the recently new Attack on Titan, and now Hell's Paradise. Like, that is 3 big anime that they're going to be doing, and I am those animators. Oh my god, please pay.
Basically, he's worried about those people that are working on them. And if you don't know what we're talking about, there's just been a bunch of controversy with Studio Mappa.
Yeah.
About how much they're overworking. Yeah. And not paying overtime. Or not paying their animators enough.
Yeah. So also on our videos thus far, there is a link down below where you can donate to up and coming animators that make probably like $500 a month or even less than that, drawing animations for these companies, because they're freelancers and they make peanuts. They do it because they love anime and they love animation. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing it for the money, but you can't live off that stuff. So a lot of them end up quitting their dream job because they just can't take it. So we always leave a link down in the description below so you can donate to them. You can read the GoFundMe and see what that's about. So, but
I think it'll only last until the end of this year.
Yeah, at the end of this year, I think it will be over from what I've caught up with at the GoFundMe. But we'll find another one as soon as the year's over, and we'll post another one down there so we can keep supporting these up and coming animators or animators currently in the business. But yes, Hell's Paradise looks amazing. Shout out to the animators. It's going to be a really great story. Like, I'm already telling you guys, it's going to be one of the most popular ones. I can feel it. Like, I just know it. It's going to be really good. Moving on from there, we also got a new trailer for Spy and Family, which is another manga that I read last year, that started last year, I think.
No, it didn't start last year. It started the year before.
I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember.
But 2018, the year before, 2019.
2019. I think it started 2019. But I picked it up when it started coming out, and now it's getting anime, and it's really good. I've seen a lot of people already looking into it, and people have started reading it just because of how awesome it looked. But if you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. If you haven't read the manga, I highly recommend that manga. It's going to be a kind of like action/comedy, deals with a spy, an assassin, and a telepath that's a child. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really, really good. So that one, I don't remember when the date was. It's definitely next year, but I don't know what time next year. So, and then with some other news as well, Oda released a statement, and as he always does, always releases a statement at the Jump Festas. Never appears ever, but he always has one of his editors go for him in his place. But always with a letter to the fans, and Wano is reaching its conclusion soon. And then he also gave a little bit more information on the film Red. He gave the editors a slideshow of all the drawings.
Oh, how they were gonna look.
How they were gonna look.
How
their
the characters
outfits.
were gonna look. The only one for me that I cared about was Nami. She looks dope.
Yeah, she
but
does. But
everybody else pretty has like outlandish outfits.
Usopp was super outlandish to where people caught on. He looks like the lead singer of Kiss. Like the Viking stuff. It looks like it. It was really fun to see. But for those that don't know, One Piece film Red was recently announced, and it red, and then at the end of the D you have the 3 claw marks, which signifies like Shanks' face. So this is gonna be a movie about Shanks, hopefully. hopefully he doesn't troll us and then just give us like a 1 minute little clip at the end of the whole freaking movie.
No, you just get Shanks at the end.
Yeah, that's it.
Just does one attack and then leaves. Or movie over.
Knowing Oda, he would troll us like that. But hopefully, it's gonna be a good movie. Maybe it ties in with the story. Maybe it's not canon. Probably not canon.
Most likely not.
But we'll see. But he did state in his statement that Shanks will make his move, and
very soon.
He didn't specify whether it's gonna be the movie or not, or in the anime when Wano starts to wrap up. So we have that going on there.
Oh, speaking of that, Hirokoshi also did a short Q&A or did a reply.
Thank you for.
And at the end, he said, if things go smoothly, My Hero Academia has 1 year left. So we are at the final arc. The final arc started back in March. So in his opinion, it started back in March. And he said if things go smoothly, then My Hero Academia should be finished by next year.
Which is absolutely bonkers to think about. That it started, what was it, 2014?
I don't remember.
I think it started.
I started reading it at chapter 2.
Okay, yeah, it's probably 2014. It's been a good time since then, but yeah,
it's like it was hard to imagine Bleach and Naruto ending.
Yeah, because they're so long, and this one's not as long, but still, it
was pretty long. It's always long. It's years. So if you think back, like, what was I doing back then?
Yeah. They also did announce the new season for Dr. Stone. We meet our boy Ryusui in the next season, so that's when he gets introduced.
And they're doing a special episode just for Ryusui.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be really interesting. His voice actor, I don't know. Like I heard him and I was just like, kind of matches, kind of doesn't. We'll see.
I don't watch it. We talked about Dr. Stone. I read Dr. Stone. I've been reading Dr. Stone for a while, and you recommended it. But I haven't watched the anime at all.
Yeah, the animation for Dr. Stone is top tier. Toho Animation is the studio that does it. But yes, so there's that, and then we have a new trailer for Jujutsu Kaisen 0. They released a new trailer. The movie comes out on Saturday in Japan. So on Christmas it gets released. I'm pretty excited for it from what the trailer put more in detail. Even though I read the manga, it just looks so cool actually getting animated, and the voice actress, is the same voice actress that did Shinji's voice in Evangelion. She's doing a fantastic job with Yuki's
It matches.
Voice. It matches.
It really does match.
But yes, it's gonna be a really, really good movie.
There was a lot more trailers, not that we checked out, or may not have checked out.
Yeah.
So, but that was a good chunk.
Yeah, that was a good chunk of the really big kind of announcements that they had at Shonen Jump Fest.
But if you want to just have time to spare, most of these trailers or clips are just about 2 minutes at most.
Yeah.
So they're a really quick check, but there's quite a few of them.
All right. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right into the Shonen Weekly Review. And we're going to start off with My Hero Academia. This chapter, not
much went on.
Yeah, not too much.
More dialogue than anything.
Yeah, a lot of dialogue. They're just kind of cleaning up after the whole mess of two chapters. And they're kind of deciding on what they want to go forward with now.
So basically what I found funny in this one is the whole Aoyama being the traitor amongst them was. So now the students, of course, Deku gave a very heroic speech, and all the students, all his classmates, all of class 1A forgave Aoyama. And now the teachers are like, that was touchy, guys, but he's still arrested.
That was really funny.
It's like, guys, that was pretty touching, but we still got to take him.
And they take him away.
They're about to take him away.
There's a comment from Bakugo, though, that he's like, hey, bro, I went through a lot of crap because of this guy. Let me hit him with 5 Hautzler shots and we're good.
That's me forgiving him. As long as I get to hit him with 5 good Hautzler shots, I'll be good. I always forget their names. The electric guy,
Denki.
Yeah, he's the one that stated like, "Hey, wait a minute, we don't have a way to find him. What if he's our way to find
the
one for all?"
Time he's being smart when he's usually like,
And then they all talk about it. It's like, oh yeah. And so everybody obviously jumps on board for this.
Yeah, but it was funny because they're like, hey,
The teachers are still
put
like,
headphones over their heads, gag them up, bro. Don't let them talk or hear anything we're saying. They're
yeah,
like,
but
"Alright," 'cause
before that, they start having a discussion. So when he brings that up, all the kids are like, yeah, he's right. And then it's like, we could plan this, we can plan that. And the teachers are still like, nah, we got to book them. Like, y'all trust them? And y'all were basically the victims here? But no, we got to book him. We can't fully trust him because he still might have that bomb that Lady Nagant had.
Yeah.
So they're just being cautious. And then someone brings a pad, a little TV pad, and Eraserhead shows up. And then he tells them too, hey, I don't plan to expel you, Aoyama. And like, if my students trust you, I still trust you. So you're still part of the class. And then that's when he tells them, hey, I got a plan. Put headphones over the family, the Aoyama family. So that's when they put headphones over them. They were all still crying. Apparently, they talk about this plan, and then they cart them away, and Aoyama just looked away in tears.
Yeah, he started crying.
And they took him away. So that's pretty much the end of that story.
Yeah, so, and then it just kind of
cuts to them preparing. They're like, all right, we'll see if this plan works. Well, we got to suit up.
And they were all angry and stuff.
That was a great, yeah.
They were all angry. Them all angry.
Like, all of them. They had this great panel, this one panel of most of them being there and all of them having an angry look.
I was like, okay.
I especially like Earphone Jack.
Mm-hmm.
She looked, I've never really seen her angry,
right?
And she had such a mean mugging face. I was like, bruh, it's on. People that, if you haven't seen many of those characters angry, there was a great shot of all of them angry. The only ones that weren't in that shot was Invisible Girl, because you
all you saw was
just the clothes. No, she wasn't in that panel. Ida and Deku, because they said, oh, I gotta go update my equipment. So they walk off, and then the other students give them angry look. Bakugo, everybody knows how that boy looks. Weird. That's him 24/7. Ida and Deku they go to the development studio, and Deku has such a serious face. I love that. He had a serious face. He didn't have an angry face like the rest of his classmates.
Yeah, he was just serious.
But he was serious. He's like, we got to make this plan work. And for that, I need new equipment. And he grabs the door to open it, and boom, it blows up. And if you see him close up, if you see his eyes, he still has that serious look. The whole explosion, all you can see is his eyes throughout the whole smoke, and all you see is eyes, and he still has that serious look. And then smoke clears up, and the Ida has a shocked face. And who shows up again? Best girl Hatsume. Who's Hatsume? She has no hero name. She's not a pro hero yet, but you know, mechanical girl, the one that does the equipment.
She's on the support side of UA.
If you forget, she's the one that upgrades the equipment for Deku mainly, but everybody else,
yeah.
You've seen it. That moment when there was an explosion and he falls. She landed on top of Deku. And Deku has like a surprised face and an embarrassed face, and Uraraka is right there, and she also gets embarrassed and like, what are you doing? It happens again, but this time Deku still has that serious face.
That's how serious he is. Even with the face full of opais in his face, he's still determination.
Explosion in his face, serious face. And now opais in his face, serious face.
Nothing will deter this man from stopping off for one in Shigaraki.
It's all like, no situation is surprising to me anymore, girl. I've had experience.
I had experience in the outside world.
This ain't my first rodeo
as Batman.
And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that happens.
That was it. That
was really short. It was just the whole... Yeah. Okay, so the whole wrap-up of a plan for Aoyama and how to use him to their benefit, and basically just talking to him. That was a lot of dialogue, that's why.
Yeah, and a face full of opais.
And a note of everybody's angry face.
Now let's move on with Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone, Stony Stone. And they are now preparing to take off into space. They've built the suits, and they've been training in them. The first couple panels was them in like the ocean with them, trying to, because they had to do that
stay
training
afloat.
With them.
Yeah,
more Senku, bro. I like that because he's like the main character, but he's weak. He can't do anything. But that's just how it is.
It's his brain, not his body. Yep. But in this point, he's working that body.
He has to for the sake of Earth. So they're getting all that ready. Everybody's kind of saying their goodbyes now because they're now getting ready to get into the spaceship
So they can go to the moon.
so they can go to the moon and stop Y-Man. And everybody kind of has dialogue there, and they're just kind of talking amongst themselves.
Like Kohaku and her twin sister.
But I don't know if you noticed, but there's a panel between them, so they're talking, but
Yeah,
there's glass, basically, so they don't get like germs and stuff.
Yeah, because even when Zenos talks to Stanley, he's wearing a face mask.
One moment that I really liked is old man Kaseki finally met
The watchmaker?
the watchmaker Joel, and they were just like, "Oh, you must be the watchmaker. Oh, you must be Kaseki."
I was actually pretty excited to see them because they've been key players.
Yeah, they've been absolute.
The watchmaker,
players.
he came in all late, but he came in clutch.
Literally.
When everybody got killed, he was the one that saved the day.
Yeah, bro.
At the end, in the last minute, everybody was getting shot, and he was still working until he got shot.
Yeah.
And he was able to finish.
Bro, he got shot and his hand closed on him. Oh, bro, he almost lost it. Bro, I can't believe that man Joel, bro. He came in clutch, bro.
Yep.
So they got to meet, and it was very nice to see. It was nice.
Yeah, to see them meet, and they're like, "Hey, you must be Kaseki. Hey, you must be the guy that made the watch." I was like, "Yeah, man." And then they talk about the stone that they were making, the Medusa stone that they were making for them.
Yeah,
because
I totally forgot that they had to
get petrified when they go to spell.
Yeah, so I was
when they go to space.
But I'm wondering how they're gonna get unpetrified. They have some. They
have the watch. I'm pretty sure they have an equipment.
The watch? Oh,
because that's how they got him unpetrified.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of him making it.
Yeah,
it might be something new. They haven't really said, but yeah.
Yeah, they
have
come
a
up
plan.
with something. They come up with something.
Yeah, but they work on it right there. It's like, oh, here's it is, and like, oh,
yeah,
both together work.
But so just a lot of dialogue between the characters, and then finally
a lot of goodbyes.
We have Senku,
Stanley, and Kohaku
in their spacesuits and getting into the ship.
This is mainly, once they get in there in the spaceship, it's mainly a dialogue between Senku and the audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's just his inner monologue.
Yeah.
Nothing about Stanley, nothing about Kohaku. It's just him. It's reminiscent of his journey. He sent 3 little toys of him and those other 2 that we saw in the beginning that I forget their name. His best friend and
Taiju
the other girl.
and Yuzurita?
Yeah, if that's their name, I forget. But they've been relevant. Honestly, there's just so minimal interaction between those 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had sent little toys when he was younger.
Oh, yeah.
Into space. And
them.
they show it.
Yep, they do.
That they're still up there. And now he's going to space.
Yeah.
That was his goal all along.
That's a very touching moment for Senku, but they're doing it so they can save the Earth.
And up they go to the moon.
With the power of friendship. This is literally the giant power of friendship story. It's
except Stanley.
Except Stanley.
Who knows about Stanley?
He's such a wild card still, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I feel like one of them is gonna die.
I'm pretty sure. If Senku dies, bro, oh my god, that would be great. That would be so cool.
Yeah. I feel like one of them is gonna die, if not one lone survivor.
Yeah, there's just one survivor or one of them dies. That'd be wild. So.
So when they get petrified, it heals them completely, even if they die. That's what happened to Tsukasa. He died. Hyoga. He died.
He was super dead.
Even Tsukasa saw him. He's like, oh, he dead. He was shot, and they're like, oh, we're dying, Kohaku. Kohaku went out like a G.
Yeah.
Too, when she got shot up. And she was the last survivor between Tsukasa, Hyoga, and Kohaku when they were fighting Stanley's men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all got shot up, but they showed Hyoga, and he's all like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead,
bro.
And he's like, and I'm gonna die soon, so we'll do our best. And they all 3 went out like G's.
Like G's.
And then they got petrified and unpetrified, and they're back alive. And Tsukasa was like, we're basically immortal.
So yeah, but we'll see what goes up on the moon. We'll see who freaking Y-Man is, but
who has Senku's voice.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. Watching some time travel and stuff. Is Senku gone from another dimension? He's evil.
That'd be some trip, but
that would be a trip.
Whatever.
It's science, bro. They'll explain.
It was just a big fan of Senku.
yeah, with that, Dr. Stone is reaching its end. It's gonna end soon, probably within the next year as well. But we'll see how that goes. Moving on, next we're going with Jujutsu Kaisen. It was such a great chapter. It was so good. We got an introduction of the newest character,
Takaba?
at the end of the last chapter. If you recall from the last video, he protected Megumi from getting exploded.
So he got exploded in the face.
And then he said no damage, and we're like, cool.
No,
bro.
there's obviously damage, bro.
We get an introduction to him, and he is
Such a wacky character.
he's a wacky character, and he tells them that he's a comedian. And the joke he told was such a
Well,
like a dad pun
the way
joke.
he looks is that he was inspired by a superhero who was a comedian on TV.
I actually looked it up, and there's an actual real life Japanese guy
Mm-hmm.
who's half like dressed
way he's
up,
dressed
the way
up like
he's
him?
dressed up, and the other half naked.
So it might be based on a real person.
Yeah, no,
Or a
it's
comedian.
definitely for sure based on a real person. So that's where Gege got the
inspiration from. Yeah,
but
and he makes a joke.
yeah, he
Just
makes a
like his
joke.
hero used to make.
I forget what the joke is, but it's something about
So, what do you want to call a girl that you want to make your wife? And then he tells him, you call her, hey, if you're together with me always, you can be my Wi-Fi.
yeah. And I laughed. I thought that was pretty. That was a corny joke, but it was. I find that amusing.
Like
but
dad joke.
the rest of the characters,
They were all serious.
Megumi, serious. The two bad guys, serious. They're like, nah. And he gets so mad. He's like, where's your funny bone? Were y'all just born without humor? I bet you're the type of people that sit in the front row and not laugh at a comedy show. I'm like, that's so accurate.
While he's saying this, you have a little speech bubble of Megumi. He's like, that wasn't funny, my guy.
And he's like, why does he remind me of a certain someone? And then you see my boy Toto's face there. Because he's so passionate. He's burning
He
hot
really is.
with passion. So that's why he reminded of him.
So Megumi tells him, okay, I'll take that leader guy and you take that explosion guy. And he tells him, like, this guy, his body parts can explode.
All the while, this man's face is like really close to Megumi.
And
He's
Megumi
like,
stops
"Bro."
in the middle sentence, like, hey, too close, back up.
He was so intent on listening, though. The way his face was drawn is like, I don't know. It was funny. It was really good. But Megumi was like not having it. He's like, bro, personal space. Have you heard of it, dog? So he's like, back up. And he's like, all right, bro, I got you. I go take care of him. You take care of this guy. He's like, all right, cool.
So basically, this chapter was just the fight of Takaba and that explosion guy.
I'm interested in Takaba's actual curse power
he
because
said curse, but there was a little bubble there that said sparkling. So I don't know if that's the name of his curse technique.
I don't know.
But he said sparkling, and then he said, it says sparkling,
Yeah.
and then he says curse. And then a paper fan shows up. Those Japanese comedic paper fans shows up in his hand. He just dodges some explosion take. No, he doesn't dodge it. He smacks the
he
eyeball.
smacks the eyeball back at him.
Boom!
Bro.
He's like, oh, bah! He's like, whoa, that's dangerous, my guy. And then he goes in and just smacks him with the paper in the face.
He said something really interesting. He said, there is no red. There's no red allowed here.
So
And
no blood,
Yeah, basically no blood. But apparently it's an actual phrase that they use in like
Japanese
And-
comedy, probably.
something like that, right? No red or something. So he's like, hey, no blood here, bro. And then after he says that, the guy's like wondering where he went because he's super fast. After he hit him, he moved out of the way, and the guy's looking for him. And then that boy goes,
Oh, 1,000 years of death! Yeah, he did. He
Right
pulled
up
up
the- right up
1,000 years of death right up the booty.
the wazoo, bro, right up the wazoo, just and the guy's like, oh.
Like for a second, he's like, "Oh man!" And then he quickly stands back. He's like, "I'm not gonna be part of your joke." And then he tries to hit him, and the boy backs up and just one swift kick to the head. And then the building next to him, boom, just collapses. It's like, that's it.
And it's funny because the main leader, I forget his name, the main bad guy.
Yeah,
leader,
me
he
too.
He was saying, he's like, whoa, like his curse energy just spiked up. So he must have like a lot of curse energy to where like
And it's not like you know how they control it, that it's like a flowing water, and you just got to contain it like a water bottle.
Yeah.
But this guy is like a car, goes to 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. So he's gonna
That's
be
how
really
dangerous he
interesting.
is.
He's gonna be.
He
really
doesn't
interesting.
seem like he's a dangerous guy, but based on what he was able to do, he basically has superhuman strength and superhuman speed.
And he has his special technique.
Paper fan for some reason. Oh, the 1,000 years of death, I guess. As soon as he finished his job, he's like, all right, kid, take care, don't die.
He just leaves. He's like, all right, bro, I'll see you. And then takes off. What a G, bro. What a G. Such a good introduction.
And then Megumi's like, well, I've done all I came here to do in this colony, so time to get serious. So he's about to wreck this guy.
That was pretty much it for Jujutsu Kaisen.
A great showing for a new character.
Very great. We're expecting a lot more things to come. Now moving on to
We're adding a new addition, which is going to be
One Punch.
Yeah.
One Punch is a monthly serialization. I believe
Made by One.
by One.
So we've been reading One Punch for a while, and of course One Punch is popular
Yes.
and it's getting good.
We're not gonna go too deeply into everything in the past that happened. You know, there's a lot
But
to catch
again,
up.
like last time we talked about great female characters. In One
Yes.
Punch Man, it has a few good female characters, and obviously one of the most OP that we see, she's OP, is Tornado.
Yeah. So Tornado is
She
a
fought.
hero's hero.
Yeah.
Like she is a hero.
No, she's not. She's
I
just
like
very
that.
apathetic. She's very
She's
apathetic.
apathetic,
She's very
but
cold.
like
But when she needs
doesn't
to
mean-
get
like she's deep down, she
no,
cares.
no, deep down she doesn't. She's apathetic and she does what she does because she wants to protect her and her sister. So
Well,
the
she
whole
does it
reason
for her
she's doing
sister.
it.
She's her sister's hero, so that's still a hero.
And she is her sister's hero
Yeah.
because her sister looks up to her. But she doesn't care about anybody else. That's not a hero. But she's not really a pure hero. She's not a hero's hero. But anyway, she fought basically the strongest opponent that they could fight. An opponent that was able to cut a piece of the continent,
yeah.
the world. Like you've seen One Punch Man. It gets crazy. Well, when she fought that boss monster, crazy powers. It just upped the ante.
It did.
Enough where she did a laser and it cut a piece of the continent. And that piece of the continent that was cut off, she lifted. And she used a robo to attack her and basically did like a giant tornado and boom, killed that.
Tornado.
Yeah, but for the first time ever, she basically pushed her powers to the limit fighting this monster.
Yeah.
And in between all of this monster arc versus S-class heroes, the S-class heroes, either they had an easy time defeating the monsters or they had a little bit of a tough time, but eventually came out on top.
Yeah.
And now when Tornado finished the boss monster, everybody thought we were done. But nope, then all of a sudden, I think 4 of them,
Yeah.
four
Four
of
them
those
came up.
tough monsters came up and they were all worn out from other battles that they had and protecting people, especially when that boss monster became super huge.
Yeah.
They were trying, they were all fighting them, and then Tornadoes are like, I got this. And so now she's worn out, and now there's a new set of villains who have this sudden boost of energy.
Yeah.
They had their powers boosted, and one of them looks like a hobo. I forget his name, but he looks like a hobo. And he mentions that God gave them new powers.
Yeah.
And they all got their powers boosted tenfold.
Yeah.
And basically they start fighting the S-class heroes and they start whipping S-class heroes.
Yeah, they do. Everybody's having a really hard time because, as you said, they're really, really worn out right now.
And also Garo is around.
Garo is such a beast, man. He is.
And now he's almost,
his monsterification, yeah, it's almost complete.
yeah, his monstrification. And Bang is obviously going after Garo, Bang and his brother. And all the S-class heroes are dealing with a fat guy, a fat slob monster that is basically acid. So if they
Yeah.
touch him, it burns. And at first they were able to take it, but now with his upgrade,
Nah,
they are
can't.
not. Then they're fighting this little spermification monster that can split itself into millions or trillions of little hymns. So no matter how many you kill, more pop up.
They're so annoying. They look so annoying.
And then you got a hobo that shoots laser beams. A bunch of stuff happens. A few heroes get taken down. And even Demon Cyborg, our boy, goes in to try to help out with a new upgrade, new and improved. He comes in to save the day, looking pretty cool. Then he starts fighting these monsters and he just starts getting wrecked. And Tornado, she tries to fight, but she has no
can't.
energy left. So there was a good point a few chapters ago where Cyborg is pieces. All there is left is his body, the middle section of his body and his head. No limbs. And he's dragging Tornado with his teeth, trying to protect her. And then he puts his body on top of her because he started getting pummeled by the little things.
Yeah.
And then who comes for the rescue? Rumble. And King is standing on top of the cliff. So now the two strongest monsters, the little guys who combine to become a golden version of themselves. Yeah, like a golden version of them, but just bigger. And then you have that hobo with the lasers. And now they're both focused on King. And King's all like, Saitama, where you at, bro?
Where you at, bro? I need you. Yeah, so as far as the heroes know, King is one of the strongest heroes. But what they don't know, King's just, he doesn't have any powers.
And a lot of times, the reason he got the reputation, coincidentally, was because Saitama was around, even before they became friends. And that's how they became friends, when Saitama saved the day, and then King took the credit. And he's like, hey, want to hang out? Yeah, sure, let's go play PlayStation at my house.
Basically.
So they're good friends, and then King already knows that Saitama is OP. So usually, I think that's his power, the power to summon Saitama out of nowhere. Plot armor of Saitama.
Plot convenience, bro. That's his power.
That's his power. So it eventually will happen. So he has their focus. And the latest chapter focuses on Garo versus Bang.
His own student.
Both Garo and Bang fighting, and then they use their last techniques.
Yeah.
I forget the name of their techniques, but they do one final technique where he didn't want to get hit by Garo because Garo was so strong that if he got hit with him, it would blow his limbs away. So that's why he was using his flowing water to reflect it. But even when he was deflecting it, it was hurting him.
Yeah.
So it came to a point where they did their final shots, and Bang missed a little bit, but Garo grazed him. And when he grazed him, it basically took him down.
Oh, yeah.
So Bang is down. And now the acid monster, that big, ugly acid monster, he was looking for Bang. Because Bang was the one that defeated him earlier on.
Yeah.
And so he stumbles upon them. So that's where they left off. And Garo was grabbing his face, because slowly when they were fighting, as they were fighting, his monstrification started cracking.
Yep.
So that's where they left off with them. And then we get back to Zombie Man with the hobo.
Zombie Man is still alive.
He got blown to nothing.
He got blown to smithereens, and I'm like,
very early on.
Oh my god, he is dead. Like, and now he's back. It's cool. I like Zombie Man. He's a G, bro.
When King showed up, that hobo guy made this big ass spear bomb looking, made out of light. King is like, oh man, is he gonna chuck that at me?
What do I do?
Hey, your feet. The guy's like, what? There's rubble beneath your feet. Watch your step.
And he's like, and he just starts overthinking it because they know he's king and he's the, one of the top
strongest,
heroes.
yeah.
So the guy overthinks it. He's like, nah, he's playing. Oh, I do have rubble. Was he testing me? Was that a test? Would I have been unstable with my attack and completely missed him? Oh my god, what have I done? I should have been more paying attention.
And he's like, nah, I can't back down now. He was just about to throw it, and then all of a sudden Zombie Man's hands come from beneath and knock him down. He's like, this is what King was alluding to. No fucking plot armor power.
Plot armor power.
And Zombie Man's holding down the hobo dude. He's like, I got him, King. Now you can focus on the other guy. He's like, that guy is macho golden. He's like, nope. Someone help.
Cut back to Zombie Man and
the hobo. He
guy.
starts questioning him, like, who gave him his powers, because they weren't this strong.
Yeah. And then it cuts to some crazy art. Like, oh my goodness, it cuts to some crazy art. Yeah, the art is absolutely crazy.
So remember, the story is written by one originally, but the artwork is made by
Yusuke Murata. So he is by far one of the most talented artists in the Shonen Jump roster right now. Like, and if you don't believe me, look up some of his work. Look up that continent splitter that we were talking about earlier. That is absolutely wild. So in this chapter, as Zombie Man is questioning the hobo guy, and he's like, where are you getting these powers from? And he's like, well, we got them from God. And they're like, what? And then it cuts out, and he's like having this crazy vision.
Well, he has them on the floor.
Yeah.
So Zombie Man is standing over him. So right on the shoulders of Zombie Man is the moon. And so he starts staring at the moon. So you get this great transition of a black and white image, and the next panel, it starts getting colorized.
And it's colorized, and you see the moon, and then you just see this giant figure on the moon. And it almost looks like a freaking
like an Evangelion, like a monsterized version of Unit 1.
Of, what's the things called in from Marvel? The big
the Celestials?
It's as big as a freaking Celestial. It's freaking huge.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to the guy and he has complete fear in his eyes. Just like,
and then it cuts to a panel and he's visually standing in front of it.
Yeah.
Like if it's right in front of him.
And that panel is so beautiful because it's
colorized.
It's colorized. It's the guy laying down on a field and it's like beautiful field. And then you just see this giant monster and we're like, what is that?
And then that monster spoke to him and he says, I will take your power and your life. And then all of a sudden the zombie's like, what's going on with you, guy? Like, you're just staring. What are you staring at? And then he starts screaming. Yeah. And then it's like steam coming out of his body, and basically his life force gets sucked out of him.
Evaporates into freaking
and his
air.
Final words were God.
And that was it.
And Zombie Man's like, what?
He's so cool about it though. He's just like,
he's like, God. It's like, could another godly being have given him his powers?
Yeah. And then that's where the chapter had ended with that.
Crossover with Dr. Stone confirmed.
One
Punch Man also has to deal with the moon.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I think? Because I thought about this when they first showed that being that was over the moon. What if Saitama woke it up when he made that crater on the moon? That crater was still there.
God, you're right. You are right.
It's that boy's fault.
Oh my God. Well, Saitama has to take care of it now.
But yeah, that's basically where it left off.
Now we're gonna go ahead and move into the final story of the week, which was One Piece. One Piece was
titled Zorro versus King,
and it was amazing. The chapter starts off with the
ending of Queen versus Sanji.
So,
which was the last chapter was called Sanji versus Queen.
Yeah, I was just like, and I remember we were talking about it. I'm like, is it really over? Does Queen have a thing up his sleeve?
Apparently not. It's
Apparently
over.
Not. It is over.
He went back to his humanoid form.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, bro, you're done. And it says battle of, I forget where they're at. And then it says Victor Sanji. So confirmed, Sanji has beat Queen, which is absolutely ridiculous. It is crazy to see them come this far to where they've taken down a Yonko's second in command or third in command. So and Queen has a bounty of like 1 billion, like not as much as Luffy, but it's still in the billions.
It's crazy to think that maybe Sanji is stronger than Zorro now.
Right? Like, hey, a lot of y'all heard that. A lot of you Zorro fans heard that.
But my defense for that is the fact that Zorro fought Kaido. So whatever, Sanji. I don't think so, Chief.
But at this point, he has leveled up and he was able to beat Queen pretty handily. Mm-hmm. And you have to remember, it was a fair fight. Sanji had been fighting up to this point, and Queen, which is interesting, a lot of characters in One Piece, a lot of villain characters usually go at the Straw Hats in full power. Queen did not. For those that don't remember, Queen and King were fighting Marco for a good while, and Marco is no pushover by any means. He was able to take both of them on by himself, and they weren't able to take him down at all. They were frustrated trying to take Marco down, so they took some damage. So, which was really cool to me is that Sanji and Queen were at a level playing field and they were both finding each other hurt.
Well, I don't know about King. King seemed pretty non-damaged.
Yeah, that's true.
Queen was tired.
Queen was definitely tired.
Because he also fought fodder.
Yeah, and then Sanji beat him, and then Sanji this whole time had the freaking mouse. Chuji in his pocket. He's like, "Oh, here you go, miss. Here's your Chuji back."
The lady, the girl that was there that almost got hit by Queen, she was still there.
Yeah.
And then he walked up to her and showed in the palm of his hand he had the mouse. Which it still shows that he's in control, because if he was like his siblings, here's your mouse. There's your mouse now.
I have the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. So he gives Chuji back. I love how it's Sanji, Chuji. So he gives him back to the girl, and he's like, "Here you go. Here's your mouth." Bleh, bleh.
The lady screams out like, medic, we need a medic.
We need a medic. This guy's hurt. Pick him up, please. And then now cuts back to the fight between King and Zorro. And it is really crazy because at this point they've been fighting for a while, and Zorro is completely
now used to using
Enma. Now he's used to using Emma, but he was frustrated at the fact that he could not figure out King.
And he's all like, I gotta finish this match soon or Enma's gonna kill me.
He's like, I gotta kill this guy or I'm gonna get killed. So
by my own blade.
Which is really, really funny. But Zorro's feeling the pressure now, so he starts putting the pressure on the King, and he starts paying attention. He's like, all right, like, let's see what's going on. Attack, nothing. Attack, nothing.
And then King attacks, and he's like, oh, and counters him, and then it actually cuts him.
Yeah, and Zorro starts realizing, wait, like, I just cut him. What happened? So he starts attacking again, and then he realizes King sped up really fast, and he noticed the flames on his back went off. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I cut him again. I see what's going on now. So
and then he explains it to him. He's like, whenever your fire is on, your defense is at its highest. And when they're off, your offense is at its highest. So you move really quick and you're really strong. Now I know when to cut you.
But now I can cut you. So now
it comes to a point where that happens and King goes in for an attack. So his flames are off. And then Zorro counters him and gives him a pretty straightforward cut.
That boy's head.
Which cuts King's mask off.
It cuts his mask off. Mask off. Mask off. Yeah. And then you see King with half his face, his mask torn off, and then he's just like,
and he decides to just take off his mask and chunks it. And there's some fodder soldiers right there. They're like, oh, look, King somehow taking off his mask. He's like, that guy was able to damage him? And then they see his face, and they're like, white hair, black wings, brown skin. Wasn't there something about this characteristics of this that the government was given 100 million bounties for information for? And King looks at them and they're like, oh, we're sorry, King. We didn't see nothing. And the King's like, whatever, Imperial Dragon Flames. Boom. And he roasts everybody that was there.
So this is a pretty big reveal because, oh my God, for the longest, we're like, what does he look like? He's just wearing a whole bad black outfit. It looks intimidating as heck. And then he takes off this mask and I'm like, bro, that man handsome AF, bro. Like, he's a good looking, bro. He that just adds to his freaking coolness factor. Now I'm kind of torn between like Katakuri, King. Like, Katakuri still holds because of his background and his story and his character, but we haven't gotten a lot of background to King's story, which we're going to for sure.
Katakuri got a big plus because he really, really wants to protect his family.
Yeah.
He really does.
But with King, we got to find out more about his backstory and what's going on.
Speaking of that, remember when it was revealed when after Katakuri thought he was done with Luffy, and then Luffy breaks into his dimension with that mirror using his sister?
Yeah.
And then he was eating donuts. But he was eating donuts isolated, and the chefs that delivered his donuts were outside, and as he finished it, they added more donuts, right? And then Luffy breaks in and knocks all of that down. Then Katakuri's face is revealed in public. And those chefs that saw him, he kills. So every time a character's secret is revealed, whatever fodder is around, they always get killed.
Yeah.
But
that's
eventually, Luffy whips them up, or a Straw Hat character whips them up and redeems them.
Now King is like, all right, like, I'm just going to fight like this now. And
this is so awkward. I found this so awkward because after that, Zorro's like, what's up with you, man? Want to tell me about your race?
And he's like, no, I don't think I will. And then just starts going at it. So they start fighting again. And
for me, that's weird because he's never asked that. He's usually a fighter.
Yeah.
But he's just so curious about King now.
Yeah, he's curious now. So they start going at it, and then King hits him, and then Zorro hits him with his 3 blades. And then again, King's sword opens up, catches his blades. But Zorro does a really cool move here. He imbues it with Congress Hockey and then says, I'm a Gojo this crap. and basically knocks him off.
Yeah.
with
his hockey. Yeah,
the
because he's
spear.
all like, "You're not gonna make me drop my blades again, bro."
He's like, all right, I'm good. I believe King, he's like, you're an inferior race. Like, you're not going to beat me, which gets Zorro really pissed off.
Yeah, and he gets a flashback.
But before that, he said, the thing that led to the flashback was he called Zorro inferior, and then Zorro clapped back with, like, I hate when people say that. And then he's like, King was like, I'm going to win because Kaido's going to become the Pirate King. And then it cuts to his flashback there.
First of all, King was crucified in some sort of machine. He was being held.
Yeah, he's being held in a machine, strapped up.
And Kaido, right there with his club, he was just talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bust out of this place."
You want out,
like
bro?
nothing. Yeah.
He's like, "You want out,
He's
bro?"
like, the government's interested. So they were in a government facility because he mentions the government. So like, they're just gonna experiment you for the rest of your life, bro. But if you help me, I'll take you out. So you want out? And then in the next cutscene, there's like the whole facility's on fire and they're walking.
Walking
He's
out
like,
a couple of
how did they
badasses.
even catch you, bro? They shouldn't be able to catch you. You're pretty strong. I'll let you be my right hand man. You're so strong, you can be my right hand man.
And then he's like,
Like, don't worry about the government ever again, because if they come at you, it's like, I got your back.
And
like,
he's-
nobody's gonna be able to touch me.
yeah. And he's like, can you really change the world? And then he says something really interesting that I'm going to touch in a little bit later. But he's like, I'm the only one who can change it. I was like, ooh. But anyways, and then he tells him, he's like, hey kid, what's your name? And King tells him Albert. He's like, Albert, that name sucks.
Yeah, you have the strength of someone really, really strong. So you should call yourself King, because that's the type of strength you have.
He basically told this man, your name sucks. Your name's King now. He's like, okay. He saved his life, so he was okay with it. He's like, all right, cool. I guess that's my name now.
And that's how his journey with Kaido started, apparently.
Which is crazy. That makes me think that King must be a little bit younger than Kaido. Not by much. Because King looked to be in his like teens, at least in his teens. And Kaido looked to be in like his early 20s, at least. So, but he was being experimented on. So now I'm wondering, was that before or after?
So what the way I saw
the Rocks
this,
Pirates?
oh, that's a good
Or
question
was
for Kaido.
King
So
in the Rocks
I
Pirates
think-
too?
I think Kaido was in the Rocks Pirates before in his youth,
Yeah.
and then somehow he got caught because remember they
You're
fell.
right, you're right.
So when they fell, he might have been captured.
Yeah.
So remember, the Lunarians were taken down 800 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that some of them got out, and there's more out there in the world. And wherever King's family was, they got captured,
Yeah.
and one of them was King.
Yeah.
So at a very young age.
And he's just been experimented on this whole time, possibly. But it was interesting because of what, now tying back to what Kaido said about I'm the only one who can change the world. That really made me think, because there was a point in time, well, there was a point in this earlier in Wano, once he beat Luffy up and he threw him down the island. He told him, he's like, so you couldn't be Joy Boy either. And that's making me think that he might have known about, well, he most likely knows about Joy Boy, and I feel like he maybe took it upon himself to consider himself the reincarnation of Joy Boy. And maybe that's why he said, I'm the only one who can change the world.
Yeah, but when he told Luffy that, I was just thinking either they're looking for someone who can be Joy Boy. It's not that he thinks that he is.
I mean, maybe when he was younger, when he told King that, maybe he knew about it and he's like, I'm that guy.
Remember, Big Mom and him were part of the Rocks Pirates, and Shanks was part of the Goldie Rogers crew. So they've been in battles together. So I'm pretty sure those four, and they're Yonkos, right? Except for Blackbeard. But those three know a lot of things that the government knows, and many others don't. But there's got to be a reason why they haven't been as active until now.
That's true. That is true, because they've had all this time. And they
So
weren't
if
as
he
active.
felt like he was Joy Boy, he would have been more active sooner or been doing something before his youth ended.
Well,
But
yeah.
now that there's this big movement of new pirates and young pirates, I think they're either looking for someone specific or they want to get something specific out of these young up and comings.
So, and it's not that they haven't, made their move, or is now that it's just not the reason for it is because Whitebeard died, and Whitebeard was one of the powers holding them,
back. You think?
Absolutely, because even Shanks pointed it out. He's like, now the power of balance has shifted. Like they didn't have the warlords so recently when they were running around, so they had the warlords to worry about working with the government, and they still had Whitebeard, but Whitebeard was gone, and then that's kind of the whole war was. Made that power shift.
This kind of makes it even more strange why he tried to kill himself the first time we saw him.
That's true. Man,
like, what is he trying?
I just want to.
But then now he's trying to change the world.
There's something. There's a motivation there, and Oda just hasn't explained it.
We just need to get to Kaido's story.
Yeah, we need to get to Kaido's story.
Give us everything.
Yeah,
because he's lived such a weird life.
He is, and he's definitely an interesting character, and what a savage character he is at that too. So we got that little backstory on King and, how he came to meet Kaido and became his right-hand man.
Now we cut back to the final moments of their fight between Zorro and King.
And now they're completely going at it and they're trading blows. And now Zorro
is actually doing damage.
Because he's now
one attack after another.
And now King at his last wits, Zorro starts making fun of him. I was like, you're dodging me now, bro. You dodging me now. You weren't before.
I'm hurting you now, dude.
I love Zorro's, bro.
He takes up to the air. It's like, well.
And it was funny because right before King hit his final attack, he was like, I'll remember you, bro. I remember you as a decent swordsman. I was like, as a decent swordsman.
And then Zorro claps back like, nah, you're not going to remember me because of you defeating me. You're going to remember me as the one that took you down.
And then King launches his Imperial Fire Dragon attack and he goes, and he launches it at Zorro. And then Zorro hits him with
103 merciful
rising
or mercy.
Dragon.
Yeah.
It was like a rising dragon. It reminded me of friggin' Goku's move. I forget what it was called in Japanese, but it was called Rising Dragon or something.
Oh, the one from the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's cool. But yeah, so Zorro has that attack coming to him, and then Zorro hits him back with the Rising Dragon
which
attack.
was funny because his attack looked like a dragon, and Zorro was just like lightning.
Yeah.
It looked like a hockey lightning just coming at him, and it cuts the dragon in pieces.
It cuts the dragon into pieces, and then it cuts right through King, and which is really interesting because he changed his named attacks now. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but it was called I think it was called Underworld Hell Blade or something, and then it would have the parentheses, and then it would continue on with the rest of the name, which was the Rising Dragon. So now he started naming his attacks after Enma.
Yeah.
So I was like,
because that's his main source of attack now.
So now he's gonna change up his technique names. So yeah, he cuts right through King's Fire Dragon attack and cuts right through King, and yeah, from what it looks like, we never know what the Oda, but from what it looks like, the battle has been finished. And he launched his final attack in.
Hopefully. And then next thing you know, fire. I'm back.
But yeah, hopefully with that we'll end it with the two top commanders, and then we'll move on to our main boy, Luffy versus Kaido.
This is what I like reading more than watching the anime, because when we get this in anime, we're gonna get so many cut breaks, so many. Well, this fight is happening in the middle of this fight, this badass fight. This is happening in the manga. We get straight to it, and we just focus on that. But in the anime, it's like, but you get a bit of this, you get a bit of that.
Yeah, and for those kind of that don't know what that kind of is called pacing, the pacing within the story, and Toei animation. Yeah, they have some pretty bad pacing when it comes to One Piece. It just takes forever to get a point across, and there's just these little moments. Some of them I respect. What we didn't get in the manga was the entire fight between Commander Chopper and Lieutenant Usopp versus Big Mom in the tank.
It was a little bit funny.
So that did not happen in the manga, that entire fight. But
the original,
they did fight at a little bit. You just saw Chopper and Usopp going after Big Mom in the tank, and that was it. But Toei expanded upon it, and we heard Chopper say, "Hey, you want some more candy?" Throws a grenade in her mouth. And that was by far the coldest quote from Chopper, bro. That was so great. But there's some moments like that that are they're cool, but 95% of the time. It's
When it
just
comes to
really
big
bad.
fights, nah, bro.
Like I just want the fight to go and not you having to cut in and out to other people. Like please
Stop it.
For the love of Oda, do not do that. But yeah, that was pretty much we wrapped it up there with One Piece for the SWR for this week.
Check out those trailers, guys.
From Jump Festa. There's a lot of good stuff coming your way. Yeah, and we're gonna have some more content out for you soon. And until next time, guys, out.